douglAR Politics. Tonight, 7:30 p.m. Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Olympics done, Sporting Tabanka. Little analysis left to do. douglAR Politics. Delta reach, Pfizer reach. Rowley still here. Pressure for all of we. We opening up, we shutting down. Borders still open or borders closed. Porous borders, cutlass vessel, no diesel, no radar, no helicopter, no air guard, no army, but Delta reach. Not American Airlines, not Caribbean Airlines, not any airlines. Is Delta the variant that they tell you must reach, it bound to reach, it have to reach? Well, it reached. So what does that mean? More lockdown, shutdown and broke down? We have Pfizer now. Is Pfizer the Rolls Royce? What about the CL? When they're going to expire? All you want CL, all you want Pfizer. Pfizer for who? All your bold face, all you want to choose? Who is all you to choose? Take what you get, yes. Rowley say son. All you put Rowley in charge. Rowley's the boss. Rowley's in charge. PNM is the boss. PNM in charge. All you vote for that? douglAR Politics. Olympics done. We getting back serious. 7:30 p.m. We start sharp. 7:30 p.m. Friday night. Tonight. Wherever you feel. Friday. 7:30 p.m. douglAR Politics.
This is douglAR Politics, yo. douglAR Politics. Listen, douglAR Politics, yeah. douglAR Politics. This is douglAR Politics, yeah. douglAR Politics. This is douglAR Politics. douglAR Politics. This is douglAR Politics, yo. douglAR Politics.
Welcome to douglAR Politics. Please share the live, and have a little Olympic analysis at the end. Or Champa call press conference. No, not with her plastic surgeon. No, but sport, to talk sport with our old man next to see Douglas Goat Camacho. Not greatest of all time, pure goat, Douglas Camacho. The goat who in sport about 60 years and I do nothing yet, talking about what is necessary. What is necessary, whatever was necessary, all you didn't do it. But we go deal with that later. I was reading an article in the Newsday, Sunday, August 8, page 7. Now, I'm going to read this article and ask you all, and ask you, the douglAR Politics viewers, a few questions. It's a very interesting article, but it brings up some very important topics. Coast Guard stops police legal advisor on boat with 13 people. Okay, let's read the story. Coast Guard officers intercepted a pleasure craft with 14 people on board last Thursday, including the head of the police legal unit. Right? So first question, is this really a real story? Is this true, Coast Guard? We want to know if that is true. But the director of legal, Christian Chandler, said on Saturday he was not arrested. Okay, Christian Chandler, is it that you were not arrested because you were not on any boat? You was down in South, in Gasparillo, playing cricket with 4 people, and you were not on any vessel at any point in time? Is that why you were not arrested? Or were you on a pleasure craft with more than 5 people? So clarify that for me first. I'm trying to find out this story. So the second part is, the release from the Coast Guard stated that the vessel had 8 women and 6 men on it near Pier 1. So Mr. Chandler, well, the douglAR is very impressed by you. You always some real sweet boy. 8 women and 6 men. Well, all you moving like elite athletes. If you were on the boat, remember, I don't know if you was playing cricket in Gasparillo. So tell me, right. The third part said, Newsday understands the vessel. Here the name of the vessel. Not guilty. Lawyer. Not guilty. Is it your vessel, Mr. Chandler? I don't know. You could have been bowling spin, leg break, down in Gasparillo. You might not be studying break on a vessel with 8 women and 6 men. I just asking you, right? So were you there? Yes. What's that? You have no tie? Anyway, the vessel, not guilty, also had on board other police officers. Is this true? Did this really happen? Coast Guard, is this true? Fifthly, they said they could not say anymore as the matter was now being investigated by the police. I'm not understanding that. If Coast Guard, who are the authority under state of emergency, them have police powers, we in a state of emergency. If Coast Guard hold people breaching the health regulation, and I instant ticket, instant charge, we have seen it for the last 17 months, how it have investigation? It's simple. It either had a boat, it either had 4 or 5 people or more than 5 people, and therefore it have charge. What is the investigation? Hold on. The douglAR is confused, you know. What is the investigation? To do arithmetic like what Rowley does do? That to make 14 sound like 5? I am just asking. What is the investigation? When you hold Zessayan party, you hold man outside, you take men hiking and it had more than 5. If it had 6, you get charged. And 6 is more than 5. Well, they're trying to investigate. If you could somehow have 6 and make it 5. They continued. Mr. Chandler said, and this is very important here, I was never arrested. That is totally false. Okay. And further, at no time did I ever breach the COVID-19 regulations. I need a little explanation on that. Like I said, were you playing cricket? Were you home relaxing, watching Olympics on your couch by yourself? Is this a total fabrication? Were you playing cricket with 4 people in Gasparillo? Or were you on a boat called Not Guilty with 8 women and 5 other men, including yourself? And after you tell me where you was and if you was, then we could discuss COVID-19 regulations, whether you breach it and whether you didn't breach it. Now, if you were not arrested, that in itself bring up more question, because I have been reading where citizens all across the country who are in breach of COVID-19 regulations under lockdown, state of emergency, or just under pandemic have been charged and arrested. So I ain't know. So I want to know. Mr. Chandler continued. This story is just a matter of persons who are hell-bent on slandering my name and creating conjecture. Okay, now the thing gets serious, Mr. Chandler. This thing gets serious now. So Coast Guard, please don't tell me that all you have some beef with this man and all you fabricated an entire incident about a boat named Not Guilty with Mr. Chandler on it with 13 other people. If that is a fabrication, this is a very serious thing, and heads must roll in the Coast Guard. You see, this is a very interesting story, you know. I'm waiting to hear more about this story. Because if all you just fabricate on this man, why all you fabricate on this man, Coast Guard, or for what purpose? Clear the man's name. And Mr. Man, if you was not playing cricket with 4 people and you really was on a boat with 14 people, 8 girl, well, I'm proud of you. I mean, me I know how them girl like it, dress up so well, me you know, I never meet girl who like that, but I'm still proud of you and the boys, right? But 14 is more than 5. So why you do that? You in charge, you in the police, you is the police, you is the legal man for the police. You probably help them write the regulations and advise on what the regulations and how to go about. So I don't understand that. So this story, I put it, normally I just spell to a paper. I put in this one right here. I leave in this one on the table and we go find out. But Coast Guard, if all your makeup thing on no tie, if all your makeup thing on Pimp Daddy hair, I'm not making no joke of that. Because I cannot make up thing and put report on man and cast aspersions on the character and so on. For what? It's a very serious thing. Another one that is very serious, but I nearly, well, I didn't want to laugh, but you know when people just bold face, sometimes it brings out a response in you that is not really appropriate. I seen a headline, serial rapist appeals 27-year sentence. That was not the problem, you know. You are entitled to appeal, that's the constitution, you could appeal wherever. But here the rationale. He get 27 years. He bought like too much jail. What? A serial rapist, 27 years? Boy, you should get 277. Let me read some of the things. Let me see some of the facts. Because the man was found guilty. This case done and dusted. Them come to appeal. Too much jail. Well, let me see. Right? An errand man dubbed a serial rapist who posed as a PH driver is appealing the 27-year sentence. It was imposed for the death of a woman who jumped out a car, the back seat of his moving car, while another woman was locked in the car trunk. Look, boy, 20, and you only get 27? You only get 27? All you hear that? One woman was locked in the car, jump out the back seat, and the next woman in the trunk. But you should have a boat and go and break curfew. Eh? Mountain of garbage. Putrid smell in Beverly Hills. Now I want my PNM massive. My stay up Zimbabwe, black people. Yes, great emancipation message, Rowley. Transatlantic slavery, everybody was slaves, you know what I mean? You know, they don't think of us as slave, as descendants of slaves. They think of us with pride as creative, intelligent people, yeah? Right, Rowley? So being the descendants of slaves, according to Rowley, is a badge of shame. But stay up, my black people. Kamla, keep them banana, you know, don't share no banana, eh, Kamla? Right. Let me read this thing here, because Beverly Hills, last time I checked, they have one Beverly Hills you need visa to go. And the next Beverly Hills, right there in Lavanti, where there's only happy in them. Yellow Jersey does get pelt with banana and run out of Beverly Hills, right? It's only PNM. So I want to read this story. A mountain of garbage, putrid smell at Beverly Hills in the heart of PNM. Let me tell you how much PNM Lavanti Beverly Hills. It have PNM MPs around. It a Keith Scotland. It a small pin. Mr. Left Foot, Right Foot can't dance. Mr. Super Rowley, Superman. Mr. Super Recusal. And the next one around there is Ethelbert. No, Ethelbert, we can't find Ethelbert because all kind of general and thing coming down to meet. And like the man don't want to meet the Rasta. What going on with that? That kind of Black Lives Matter thing, how come the American Lead General or the South Command didn't want to meet with Ethelbert? I feel we should put in an equal opportunity thing. I want to question that. Is it that the Yankee didn't want to meet with the Rasta man? What's really going on in this country? But so it have Ethelbert, it has Small Pin, which is Rowley and Rice, and it have Keith Scotland. And it have a Port of Spain corporation that is PNM with a Port of Spain mayor who get booked from Rowley and get called a daughter salesman and come back and say, sorry. It have only PNM. So wait, all them PNM can't pick up garbage and make sure the place smell clean for black people who does vote PNM? Let Anil the douglAR read this and check them. I sure this had to be a false, this had to be fake news. Daily Express paid 18. Kimoy Leong Singh. Putrid smell at Beverly Hills. Residents of Beverly Hills Housing Development at Pleasant Quarry Road, Port of Spain, may wash their hands, they may wear a mask, and they may practice social distancing. But they say they cannot get far away enough from the putrid smell emanating from an unsecured public concrete rubbish bin in the community. The stench is so overwhelming, residents say, the odor is that of a pigsty. Keith Scotland PNM, Stuart Small Pin Young PNM, Ethelbert PNM, Corporation PNM, Mayor PNM. And all they have PNM voters living in putrid stench, smelling like a pigsty? Nah, man. Kamla, you better bring banana, yes? I could do that banana right now, I'm hungry. But let's continue with this PNM. This PNM loves you because they care. I mean, this is a major, and in a pandemic, but this is so difficult. You know, picking up garbage and keeping a place clean is such a difficult task. I mean, it's like solving the vaccination problem, creating a vaccine in a pandemic, and coming up to deal with variance and so on. It's like negotiating a gas price to make sure that we make money. It's so difficult to pick up garbage. The MP for the area, Keith Scotland, said, now Keith Scotland, you jump in the dance, you know. You just all your life, you come out Fatima, you're going good, you're a good attorney, you're bright, you have some big case with Mr. Khan and Israel Khan and thing, you're going good. Just so in your middle age, you go through a middle age crisis, you jump in PNM and go on and screen for a seat and beat out Brian Lewis, the biggest goat in Trinidad and Tobago, talking about let's rally and get ready for 2024. Why you don't resign and go in the toilet where you belong and sit down with your afro and wipe your bumsy with fake toilet tissue? Brian Lewis? Let me get back to Keith Scotland. I digress. MP for the area, Keith Scotland. Scotland denied the allegation. He said he only knew about the matter on Thursday night and assisted the councillors of the area on Friday to resolve the situation. But Keith Scotland, if you're an MP who cares about the area, who understands and is on the pulse, a putrid stench of their constituents would not need to be posted on Facebook for you to find out about it third or fourth hand, Keith Scotland. When I was an MP in Dabadeo, I asked any of them inside the day. It didn't have no garbage issue. Because if it had garbage issue, I'd have started to talk French. All the people who are work to do in the office, who is this one, that one, who is survey, who is scout, who getting paid with the taxpayer money to do work, well, they will have to learn French because me ain't playing that. So Keith Scotland, the mere fact that you had to become alerted that your constituents were living in filth and smelling putrid garbage means that you're lapsing, my brother. You're living somewhere else and you're incommunicado. You're not in touch with the people, Keith Scotland. And I by your words, So you confess. Yes, because you're jumping the thing at the wrong time. Because you see, PNM MPs don't care. They had numbers to see. 25, pull a number on your office day. When UNC was there, don't have no number. Whoever reached Kamala says, sit all your tail down there and see every last citizen. I would see between 90 to 130 citizens every Tuesday and every other Saturday. Jack Warner go see about 600. Kamala Prasad says 520. Rudal Muninal 400 to 500. Gopi Singh 200 to 300. Come down the line. And we have to sit down there from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. Can't move. The PNM just tell you, if you're there, pull 20. It don't even have a number 26. Them only seeing 25. So that's why they're not in touch with what the people need. So they continue, and here Keith Scotland, he liaising with councillors. You is the MP, councillor had no rank to do nothing. You is the boss man, and you going to liaise with people down below. That's just like having advice from a senior council that say, listen, you must appeal, and you going to look for advice from junior. Oh wait, PNM doing that with the fake oil thing. Oh, that's all your modus operandi. So when you are the boss and you get information at the highest level, all you just dip down low to make excuse to dilly-dally. Because in the fake oil thing, Deborah Peak, SC, senior counsel say, appeal, 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 appeal. 40-something days gone, no appeal. Kwamena, Bolin, oh, the lawyers at Heritage are looking into it. Them is senior counsel, them is SC, them have over 30 years of the highest level there. All you have a SC that say appeal, you going to get advice from junior counsel to overrule SC. That's the PNM way. So the MP, Keith Scotland, going to ask, councillor, what is the problem? Keith, second, fail. You see, dealing with Anil, we live on the ground, we with people. Not in this thing for no limelight. You understand? Do your work. He then goes on. Scotland said he saw the post and he spoke to the councillors. Well, I put LMAO. I don't know what that means. It's HDC. Here the next one. One of the councillors say, it's HDC, Housing Development Corporation houses. HDC is responsible for the removal of garbage, and it looks like the garbage was not being removed by the HDC contractor. That's why the regional corporation has stepped in. That is ordained a P&M councillor. Ordained. HDC is P&M. HDC and Port of Spain Corporation is one government. P&M government. HDC is Noel Garcia, Rowley boy, the man who's spending all the money in the whole country. HDC go in and lick down Piccadilly and put people out of their house and pay them little minuscule amounts that will not help them relocate or do anything else, and keep Scotland, who was not even consulted on it, saying yes, that thing going good. Yes, Lavanti. So P&M Corporation, P&M MP blaming P&M Councillor, P&M Councillor, Sawa Lavanti Regional Corporation blaming P&M HDC because the P&M HDC contractor didn't pick up the P&M people who vote for them garbage, and the P&M blaming the P&M, all the P&M, but the P&M constituents living in filth. All you want a banana, and they'll have banana. I love banana. I go bring banana and keep the place clean because that is the work. But it's all right. That's what you just get when you give people a vote. Call me, but tell me in the parliament in 2011 when I was throwing crosstalk at him, I say, boy, if we only send 3 more Maxi up in Diego Martin Northeast for Gavin Nicholas, we would have beat you, boy. Call me, but look across me with a serious look on his face. He said, well, next time I will campaign. He didn't lie. He didn't even campaign because he know he have 10,380 votes whether he campaign or not. So let go ahead. That's why they leave all they like that and then argue about it. Tobago, Haddad, Tobago economy crashed. Business owners barely holding on. Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce President Diane Haddad says several businesses in Tobago have gone into receivership. Tobago, yes, Rowley from Tobago. How much a help? All this receivership, people lost in foreclosure, people outside eviction, and Donna Cox now talking about, please landlords, please, all you show some compassion. Why you and your government didn't go in the parliament 17 months ago and pass law to protect people, to protect Tobagonians, to protect business owners, to protect landlords, to protect people and tenants, to protect them during this pandemic of lockdown, shutdown and brokedown? Why all you didn't do that? Hey, Donna, you're wearing all your weave down there to beg. Who go take you on, Donna? They will not be opening when the retail sector resumes on Monday. In fact, she yesterday described the economy in Tobago as crashed. 6,000 closing down. Businesses closing down. OWTU upset over callous move by TNTech. Well, I want to read this. What could upset? What could possibly upset Mr. Ansel Roger? Huh? What could upset Ansel Roger? Lean to the left. Ansel Roger? Because I mean, everybody get fire. Refinery get shut down. No foreign exchange. No work. No workers, membership can't even pay the dues, they get bus throat. They tell you you're going and get refinery. No refinery for you. You're still begging for refinery. When Kamala Day, all you, including you, who lean to the left, hard work. So what could possibly upset Roger now? He wasn't so upset when everybody get bus throat. 100% of workforce called out. So the health ministry and so on calling out TNTech workers to work. And Roger vex. Roger vex that the P&M calling out people to work. Thank the Lord they have a work and they have work to do. Get out there and do all your work safely. Don't study Roger, nah? Because right now, all your lucky are work because Wassa, they're going to bust 3,670 all your throat. They done bust Caribbean Airlines 450, another 450 coming. They come in at TNTech to bust 2,000 throat. After that, the port, they go in and bust 1,570 workers throat. All you studying Roger, this club, boy, leave to the left. Let him lean to the left so much, let him go. Go, Roger. Hele, Kamala Prasad Bisesa says, Hilaire mismanaging the central bank. That is Alvin Hilaire, the man who replaced the former central bank governor after Colm Imbot removed him. Now, they have a court case there also about a job that Mr. Ramaran was going to get. And Colm Imbot somehow intervened and he did not get the work. So I waiting to see the outcome of that case. But Alvin Hilaire, central bank governor, let me hear what Kamala had to say about this Alvin Hilaire. Run it.
Alvin Hilaire is a total failure, but is protected because he's a PNM political appointee. Once you toe the PNM line and spout their propaganda, you are protected.
This is the same Alvin Hilaire. Remember, I tried to explain to you all that a central bank governor, that's an independent institution. A central bank governor and the central bank is in charge of monetary policy. That deals with the money supply, interest rates, repo rates, how they put pressure on the bank, they adjust the rates to keep, whether there's excess liquidity in the economy and so on. They manage the money supply, plenty money, no money, take out money to make sure and stabilize. And they normally work in opposition or a counterbalance to the government, the executive's fiscal policy. So the government, the cabinet, the prime minister, the minister of finance is in charge of fiscal policy. How they collecting revenues, when they collecting revenues, what's the tax rate, what they taxing, what they doing and so on. That's them work. Remember there was a time when the government, the executive branch said, hey, we're going and change $100 notes. After they get licks in December 3rd, 2019 local government election, and they wanted to change the narrative. They just jump out and say, we're going and change $100. No old $100. We're going polymer and we're going to do it now in 2 weeks and so on. And it's a national security issue because we're fighting corruption and money laundering and so on. And they don't. Right. That is their business. They could say that. But the government, the executive, is not in charge of the money supply. Who's in charge of that? Mr. Alvin Hilaire and the central bank. So only the central bank can determine what and how they're going to change out the money supply. But out comes Mr. Alvin Hilaire. Yes, we're going to do this. And the government's national security plan is this. And we are going to do that in 2 weeks. Really? That's what an independent institution does? It licks the government's K-Pax. And who? If a man is an independent, and the Minister of Finance, who happens to be Colm Imbot, the most selfish, self-centered, disgusting human being on God green earth, coming to your defense. That is like, you get charged with murder, and Jeffrey Dahmer is your character witness. He come in to talk about you and say, boy, this murderer is a good boy. He's not really. That is how it is. So Alvin Hilaire, having Colm Imbot jump to his defense when Kamala say, that Alvin Hilaire is a puppet who is not telling the truth and putting Trinidad and Tobago in further danger because the information coming out is not correct. Remember this man? This man, he say in the pandemic, he put out a report from the central bank. 1,789 people lost. 1,789 people lost work in 2020 between March and December. At least 1,789 people lost work on the avenue alone in that period. Hey, PNM, all you're real good, but it's all right because we vote for that and we like that. And also, when we were downgraded recently, the credit rating said it moved us from stable to negative. Which one is worse? Stable or negative? Well, if negative is worse, then children follow me. The children who watching douglAR Politics, I know they have a 6-year-old watching, and 6-year-old Amelia, and my daughter Anaya, who go be 7 just now watching. If you're stable and you move to negative, is that an upgrade or a downgrade? Downgrade, uncle, downgrade. Right. Well, it's a downgrade. Did you hear Alvin Hillier say anything when called him but the Minister of Finance? The engineer who build anything he build, it broke down, shut down and fall down. Breeze just blow down what he built. And the economy now get blow down too. When he come to lie and say they did not downgrade us. Did you hear Hillier say anything? Look at it there. Hey, Archie and Vishnu, only ain't easy, boy. Me him call for that and it pop up. douglAR politics, we not making no joke, boy. Watch that. Oh, look at the ratings. We had A stable, A negative, then PNM comes, and we move from A neg to A neg, then BBB plus stable, and then BBB plus negative. How stable and negative could be the same column? That's like saying you is 5'3" and you is the same height as a man who's 6 foot. A column. NFM profits plunge 84%. If y'all don't know what the NFM is, that's National Flour Mills. What do? They produce flour. What you use flour to make? And bread and thing? So what y'all think is going to happen? If National Flour Mills profits plunge 84%, what logically you think is going to happen soon? They're going to have to make some decisions to reduce that loss. What can they do? They could go on the cost side, fire people and things, cut back maybe. Or they could go on the price side, the income, the revenue side, and raise price. But here PNM, profits plunge 84%. No change in flour prices, says chairman. No change. Nigel Romano. All you know where all you had that name before? Nigel Romano is on the PNM Trinidad and Tobago FIFA Normalization Football Committee. How we losing to Bahamas, who ranked 201st in the world. He on that committee that give we fennec and make we loss and get licks. All you're going to listen to he say, yeah, profits down 84%. Nah. We not going to raise price. All you believe this PNM, go ahead. I have nothing to say now. Elections have consequences. Slow vaccine rollout, a risk to Trinidad and Tobago's growth. Now, this had to be a UNC article, because who would criticize Rowley and Dayal Singh, Convent Girl, and the vaccine rollout? Because here it is, we're going into 8.5, 9 months, and we only had 15% of the population fully vaccinated. That is woefully slow. Herd immunity is 75%. We are 60% short. 8.5 months into our race. When we plan to go, we still warming up. All the Olympic athletes done finished, gone home, bathed in the bus, they eating McDonald's, they relaxing, they celebrating, they drinking, they taking their holidays. And we now warming up. But the slow vaccination rate, and on top of that, I coming down in the car here to tape douglAR politics, and I hear an ad on 96.1 PNM Central with Chinese Laundry, and you know they just put the ad quick on them PNM station. Hear the ad. You want to go to the beach? You dreaming about going to the beach? Well, take your jab. Yes. Right? So I said, but what they say there? So they're saying, in order to go to the beach, all you have to go and take jab. So the theory that the PNM is pushing is that slow vaccination and you, the people not taking jab, is the reason for the lockdown. Because the beach is locked down because all you're not vaccinated. Okay. But why we ask this clown here? Sir, Dancy Dance, Dodo, why we not vaccinated, Dodo? Did you get vaccination in January? Did you get Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson in February? Did you get us vaccination in March? Oh my goodness, did you get it in April? Those 351,000 Pfizer in March, did you get that for us so we could vaccinate, to operate? Oh, you were waiting for Sinopharm that you were working on a year before to sign a deal to borrow 204 million, dum-dum? US, and 15% of that was to buy CR. You were waiting on the WHO to approve CR, and we didn't get vaccine. And now you're telling us the beach closed and we are locked down because there are no vaccination, we're not at herd immunity. So isn't that your fault, dum-dum? Yes, dum-dum. Goodbye, dum-dum. So that is what they are trying to say. But let me read here, because this must be a UNC, this must be Kamala, this must be Dave Tanku, this must be the MP for Pointe-à-Pitre, David Lee, this had to be Jolene John, Senator Mark, Naked. Who is this? Slow vaccine rollout, a risk to Trinidad and Tobago's growth. Now, first of all, whoever wrote this, for how dare them consider 15% after 8.5 months slow? Them had to be opposition. How could they consider that slow? 15%, it is fast. It could have been worse. It could have been 8%. This had to be a UNC operative. Trinidad and Tobago's slow rollout of its COVID-19 vaccination program will limit the country's short-term prospects, while frequent shortages of foreign exchange harm the country's longer-term prospects. Those assessments came from the UNC down in Ramsar. Had to be. Huh? I'm sure it is. Those assessments come from Fitch Solutions Country Risk and Industry Research in August 2021 Caribbean edition of its Latin American Monetary Publication. Wait, it came from a totally independent, apolitical, intelligent, analyzing scientific data, macroeconomics, positive reflections, analyzing job creation, indices. It came from outside in. Let me read that again. Trinidad and Tobago's slow rollout of COVID-19 vaccination program will limit the country's short-term prospects. These assessments come from Fitch Solutions Country Risk and Industry Research in the August 2021 Caribbean edition of its Latin American Monitoring Publication. The Fitch Solutions report says the country's slow vaccination. Let me read it like how Convent Girl and Rowley and them vaccinating the population. The Fitch Solutions report says this country's slow vaccination campaign has led to it to revise downward its estimates of growth in the domestic economy and undermines the recovery from its COVID-induced economic depression. Elections have consequences. We are in a mess because of the incompetence, the bad decisions, the lack of ability, creativity, the lack of innovation, the lack of heart and desire, the lack of managerial capacity of Keith Rowley and his cabinet. We have failed on both areas of the COVID-19 pandemic. We failed the economy before, and these people were telling us, and they kept telling us,
in the world, number one in the world, number one in the world.
Number one in the world. And y'all, some of y'all, enough of y'all believe that for Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the UNC to lose an election by 2 seats, 2,600 votes, while 34,000 people were outside of the country being denied their constitutional rights to be home, being denied their application and their imperative to vote, being determined by a small pin who's Rowley K-Pax, while they call an election in a pandemic. Why? Because they got a certain spike because of our silly media, our lack of thought, and that we believe this.
Number one
in the world, number one in the world, number one in the world.
It's very sad that some of you all believe that abject nonsense. And now 1,153 people are dead. Brazilian variant is ravaging us. The economy has been shattered. We have debt to GDP ratio upwards of 92%. Our heritage and civilization has been plundered. $23 billion has disappeared. When Rowley is asked by Kamala Prasad-Bissessar to account for this, he talks about, oh, she wants to build a dome. And you all believe that too. The number one in the world, and the dome statement about dome builders and dome carpenters and dome specialists and dome electricians is as dumb as the other. But some of you believe that in my beloved country, my citizens, we believe that nonsense. And now the economy is shattered and we are dying. And the Delta variant has arrived. And we all are begging. And some are begging and some are celebrating. So an oppressor oppresses your rights because of his incompetence. He failed to secure the borders. He failed to keep us pure and pristine. He failed to keep Trinidad and Tobago as a bubble, as he kept citizens outside for no reason, while the borders were porous and COVID-19 was flowing into this country while like Kobo eating dead carcass on the Beetham highway when dog get bounced down. And Brazilian variant came in. We are dying, we are under stress, and the economy is shattered. We are locked down and shut down, locked down, broke down, and wore down. We are on 89 days of state of emergency, and we still up in the hundreds of positive cases, and still 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 deaths per day. And this man who oppresses because of his incompetence, we at 15% fully vaccinated, which is woeful, slow, depressing, incompetent, criminally negligent. And he come to tell all you we opening business Monday and check Sunday Express. At last, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate here. Abood, Gregory Abood, pleased over retail sector opening. President of the Downtown Owners and Merchants Association, Gregory Abood, said yesterday he was pleased to hear government announce that the retail sector will reopen. So you are pleased that the oppressor has decided to throw you a little coin. And by September 22nd, with Delta variant coming, with no vaccination, 15% fully vaccinated, we are going to be in a worse position than we were in April when this clown invited everybody to come to Tobago. The place to be is Tobago. And he come and infect Tobago, infect Trinidad, and over 950 people dead after that invitation to Tobago. We are going to be in a worse position. All your press record, you know, because I don't want all you to say that, oh, people would not have known and we could not envisage what is happening. Because at every juncture I tell all you what was going to happen, and it happened. And it's not that I have any crystal ball. It's not Yesenia Gonzalez. I don't go and I say, oh, you look like you have a very strong aura, and I think that is going to be very good. The economy on your section is not going to be very good, but don't stress yourself. You're going to fight through, and eventually something good will happen. I don't know crystal ball. It's just something called a little brain. By September 22nd, all you're going to be locked down again. Because the health system going to be overwhelmed. We have no vaccination. 15% is not enough. We need to be at 75%. And if you all don't understand that, well, I can't help you. Delta variant is here and has been here. Retail section opening. What does that mean? Illegal immigration going to open back up full speed. Because WhatsApp going on. Hey hombre, todo está bien. A lunes, todo abierto lunes. Ah, papi. Ah, dinero, ven acá. And porous borders, no helicopter, 2 Cutlass vessels that park up there, no diesel, no radar, no helicopter, no air guard, no army down, still. And I'm saying it 17 months now and it's still the same. So the Delta variant going to pass same place the Brazilian variant passed. Does it take a rocket scientist to say, by September 22nd, we are going to be in so much pain? All you're bawling about, celebrate. Look, San Fernando business, a sigh of relief, says Singh. The oppressor has taken his knee off our neck. Now the knee he put on my neck was due to his incompetence, his stupidity, his lack of procurement of vaccination, his lack of protecting the borders, his lack of handling the economy, his lack of getting resources to trickle down, his lack of going in parliament to protect people from foreclosures, protect people from landlords, protect landlords from the banks, protect tenants from landlords. He didn't do none of that. But we are locked down, shut down, and broke down because of Rowley's stupidity. And now you all celebrate that the oppressor is taking his knee off your neck for a little bit. Look at that. And then hear them retailers, welcome reopening. No more lockdowns, please. Well, get ready. Because by September 22nd, the health system is going to be overwhelmed. They now start, I see Abdul Richards saying that she increasing more beds added to the ICU as country prepares for Delta variant's arrival. So they now preparing for Delta variant arrival when it arrives. About 9 weeks ago on this douglAR Politics, I told you all, hey, Delta variant hit Brazil. Brazil shares a border with Venezuela. Venezuela is 7 miles away from we. We should be preparing for Delta variant. Get the Coast Guard out, get the borders locked down, build a security dome over Trinidad and Tobago. Not with vibranium and concrete and steel, but with Coast Guard, with radar, with helicopter, with plane. Start to protect us. That was 9 weeks ago. Them now saying, they're now increasing the number of ICU beds. Unfortunately for us, in the last 3 or 4 months, May, June, July, and now half of August, ICU mean dead. ICU and coffin in Trinidad is the same thing. It's just one step away. You just rest there a little bit to take your last breath before you go in the box. That's why our mortality rate has been ridiculously high. So what are you doing? Are you increasing the bed capacity in ICU? Just put coffin. But while they're saying that, Abdul Richards, and she telling us to be honest. And when you're going for vaccination, those who going for AstraZeneca and you had Sinopharm, be honest. Abdul Richards, but you be honest now. How much PNM paying you separately? How much is your stipend for being on the PNM Trinidad and Tobago Bureau of Standards Board? How much is your stipend from the PNM to be on the NIPDET board? How much is your PNM stipend to be on the ERHA board? Tell me that. You talking about honesty, woman? Look, put the mask up, cover your whole face, eh? You are no shame. And where the 500 vaccine that came through in NIPDET, all you still tell me about that? Why you don't be honest about that, Abdul Richards? But while she talking about increasing, that was yesterday, right? Wednesday. Oh, good! You frightened me. I thought I went in movie town to see a horror feature. Day. Who is that? She boy, throw me off. That was what? That was yesterday. This was Wednesday, the day before. In the Guardian, page 6, right? She come out to say, yes, we're going to increase ICU beds and capacity because the Delta variant is coming and so on and so forth. They don't reach, but it's coming, right? But the day before, field hospital at Gene Pear Complex closed, but 10 staying up. Does this sound like a government that knows what's happening? The next day, she's talking about increasing ICU beds. But the day before, them shut down the tent, which became necessary because the Brazilian variant increased COVID-19 positives and hospitalizations dramatically. The Delta variant is 2.5 times more virulent than the Brazilian variant. But them shut down a tent hospital that was created to take the overflow. Them shut it down. And then she said the next day, well, we're increasing ICU space. I just want to say to the PNM, you know, your management skills, your brilliance, your flow, your connectivity, your teamwork is just amazing. You're just like the Ministry of Sport, the TTOC, and the sport company. Y'all did a great job over the last 6 years providing a real flow of resources and opportunity for our athletes to go out there and beat the world. Y'all did a great job. Tobago Airport still going ahead, Let me be clear. I have no problem with Tobago getting an airport. But I have a problem when people are starving and suffering in Tobago and Trinidad about wasting money. Because Rowley say an AstroTurf on Mandela Park is a total foolish idea and a waste of resources in this time. Okay. Let me go slow. Tobago has an airport. In 2014, under Kamala and Stephen Cadiz, this airport was receiving 97,000 international arrivals. And during July, August, this airport, out of the total of 650,000 Trinis going across to Tobago, the airport handled 40 to 50% of that. So during that 2-month period, over 300,000 Trinis going across. That airport that exists now could handle that. By 2017, with the collapse of the sea bridge and the shattering of the Tobago economy, the number of international arrivals in Tobago moved from 97,000 down to 17,000. In the pandemic, this 17,000, that was the PNM Rowley in 2017, 2018, dropped to 0 because there's no international arrivals. So therefore, the current capacity of the airport is 100%, up to 97,000. So why are you building an airport when your existing airport is, even if COVID-19 lifts, is only operating at 20% capacity? You have 80% excess capacity. Wouldn't it follow that you should put plans, advertisement, marketing in place and reach up to about 50, 60% capacity and then extend your airport? Furthermore, what are you building a $1.2 billion airport to take up some 1 million, 2 million passengers when you've never crossed the 100,000 mark? Where this other 900,000 or 1.9 million, depending on the capacity that they say, where that coming from? On the same Kobo that the COVID come on? So this is not a waste of money, $1.3 billion in a COVID-19 place, when Rowley has Tobago not in the pristine bubble. We not even in the bubble with Barbados, Grenada, British Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands, and so on. That's not a waste. The AstroTurf is a waste. Pathologists, no scientific basis to ban on open-air pyres. This is my point. Remember, Kyle Taklal Singh was starting the issue, and the Hindu community is up in arms because it appears, just like beaches and rivers, just like doubles and KFC, that there appears to be some sort of bias in the thinking of Rowley's cabinet and the PNM. Some sort of. Y'all could figure it out for yourself. But I told y'all and I explained to y'all that in the Hindu religion, it's very important when you are getting rid, or when someone dies, how you deal with their body is very important to Hindus. They believe that the physical body must be separated from the spirit. And the way to do that is in open air pyres for the person to have everlasting life or to move on to the next realm. And that under these COVID-19 regulations, I asked, what was the science that says you cannot safely dispose of a dead loved one on an open pyre? What's the problem? What's the infection? What's the danger? As opposed to the government saying, well, they could do it indoors. But indoors is extremely expensive. We cremated my mother in 2008 indoors. My brother paid our bill, very big bill. I mean, he could handle that, that's very good. But it was big. Some people cannot afford that. And did the government put anything in place saying, well, if you can't do it outdoors, there is a grant for every Hindu funeral that goes from outdoors to indoors that the government would put? No, they wouldn't do that. Why do that? Because rivers closed too. Double shut down and KFC open. Remember? Okay. Pathologist Dr. Rajendra Prasad has added his voice to the call for government to rescind the ban on open-air pyre cremation for people who have died from COVID-19. Prasad said, there's a doctor, a pathologist, for everyone in here. Prasad said, there is no rational scientific basis for the continued prohibition of open-air pyres at this point in the pandemic, and advised the Ministry of Health to keep up with the data and recommendations of the most respected international health agent. Nah, man, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, don't tell me if I going to read here that the WHO, that Rowley and them, this called WHO name everything they do. Well, it's WHO approved. We low in vaccination because we follow WHO, not Guyana and not Barbados. We stick to WHO, and WHO, anything the WHO, we follow WHO. Don't tell me that I am going to read here that the WHO does not ban open air cremation for COVID-19 people. You know? Don't tell me that I'm going to read that Rowley and Convangel have gone against WHO scripture. And I use scripture clearly, precisely. He quoted document from the World Health Organization, WHO, and the US Centers for Disease Control and the CDC to debunk the belief that indoor cremation offers more protection than open air with masking and social distancing. So the WHO does not prohibit open air cremation, but Rowley does, Convangel does. I wonder if the WHO ban river when beach open. I wonder if the WHO said no doubles outside, but you could go inside and eat KFC. These WHO. He noted that preeminent global public health agencies, such as the WHO and the CDC, do not prohibit open-air pyres, but provide guidelines for the safe conduct of the open-air cremations. So why is the PNM suffering Hindu people like that? Why is Rowley oppressing the Hindu faith like that? For what reason? Are you the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago where every creed and race find an equal place? I mean, the words about anthem according to Convangel. Sing it, Convangel, you dum-dum. Taking a short break to drink a little water. And then we coming back. The PNM cares. They care about you. They care about the people in Beverly Hills, the garbage. Nah, man. They wouldn't let you, especially you all who have voted PNM since 1956, they would take care of you because the PNM cares. I'm sure the PNM cares about the environment and the fisheries and the fishermen and all the food that we eat. I am certain that the PNM cares. I'm taking a short break and don't go nowhere. No. Share the life, please. Thank you. We're coming back. Welcome back to douglAR Politics. Now I need you all to help me. We're helping small business one by one. And some all you send it there to Vishnu, to Archie. The fan club in Trinity Mall opening back Monday. Now understand that these businesses under pressure. They have rent that they have to pay from since lockdown. If lockdown was 95 days ago, 96 days, them had to pay that and they have not sold anything. So all you who is sport fans, fanatics who like to go out and lime and so on, just go and buy a jersey for me, buy a pants, buy a scarf, buy something up at the fan club in Trinity Mall so that they will be able to pay the back rent and stay in business. We helping the small businesses just like we helping Masala Hut. All you call Masala Hut, 687-0782. Call them, the best soup in Penal South area. Call them and collect. Everybody buy 2 soup. The guy eat 1. Right. Coming back now. PNM care. They love all you. They love the workers at Wassa, the port, Petrotrin refinery, CPEP, they didn't cut them. They love KFC workers, so they give them $150 a week and then take it away and give them a Pepsi and 2 pie. That's the main PNM man mute. They must love fishermen, even though they take away regular gasoline and man have to buy super expensive and can't go nowhere to catch fish. But now, the fishermen cannot go far to look for fish. And inside where they want to fish, look what the PNM does. Run the video.
Hi, my name is Gary Wood from Fishermen and Friends of the Sea. Please share this video. We have a massive oil spill in the Gulf of Fire right now. Look at what Petrogen is doing. They send a ship to cut up the oil. They're not collecting it at all since this morning. Please share this video. Please share this video. Let the whole country see. What Petrogen is doing is they're driving around and chopping it up rather than putting booms around it to collect it. All day long we've been calling the IMA, the EMA, the Ministry of Energy. No response. The oil continues to flow. And instead of them collecting it, please share this video. Please share this video. Let the whole country see what they're doing to us. Because this oil causes cancer. This is not an imaginary video. This is happening right now on a Sunday evening. Since this morning we reported this. Please share this video. Please share the video. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. The whole sea is covered in it. That is what barrier fuel is about. About covering up oil spills. We have had almost 400 oil spills in 5 years. Not a single bastard has been prosecuted. Look at it. This is MTR's can from Jackson, the president of Cali Bay. Look at oil. Please share this video. This is happening right now.
Right now in the Gulf of Paria. This is what fishermen going out to fish tonight to catch oil.
And when you get it on your net, you have to throw away a net. And a net costs $40,000. That is what barrier fuel is about. Look how thick it is. Lisa, show them. It's like a porridge. Look at that. Look at that. We go see the kind of crap that we have to face from irresponsible, negligent people. Who is the chairman of Barrier? Who is he? Where is he right now? Who is the managing director? Who are the senior officers? Who is the head of security? Who is the head of emergency response, preparedness and action? All a bunch of big shots, drawing $15,000 and $25,000 and $35,000 a month and doing F all.
Now think about what you just saw there. And think about the actions of the PNM government under Keith Rowley, Al-Rawi, Smallpin, and all of them. That was a clear video, and you saw the Paria Petrotrin Heritage vessel in the back actively spinning around and trying to cut it up, trying to obfuscate, trying to hide, trying to cover up evidence, trying to cut it up, not caring about the environment. Could you imagine if this occurred anywhere in a developed country, in the United States of America, on the coastline, outside in the UK, Europe, or anywhere like that? Think about the thought processes of these people. The lack of heart, the lack of care, the lack of understanding and respect for the environment. That you have an oil spill, okay, an accident, whatever, all right. But rather than use the greatest technology, we have been in the oil and gas industry since 1908. So you are saying that we don't have boom equipment to circle the spill, squeeze it in, collect it, and use mechanisms, whether the sponge and so on, to pick it up, to recollect it, to get it back out of the sea. That our response is, oh God, look, that thing spill. Go quick and cut it up so it could sink down and hide it, hide the wrong. We do wrong, hide it. These people spent $23 billion of your money. When Kamala Prasad Bisesa asked them about where the money, how people suffering and all that money gone from the heritage and stabilization, so much borrowing, no vaccinations, no grants, no small and micro enterprises loan, everybody suffering, businesses shutting down, where the money gone? Rowley say about, and you want to build a dome and you want to go in the sunlight? But yet his government and the head of Paris, Newman George, Rowley, personal friend of 50 years. He and that family so close. Rowley and Bridget and he said, George, like this, so much so that me and him know how Newman George could still lime with Rowley. Because me ain't sure if Vishnu do me that, me and Vishnu can't lime. You understand? Vishnu, but how you gonna do me that? And I go never do Vishnu that. I probably understand what I'm saying, right? But that's what they do. And do you see that spill? That is not miles and miles off of the coastline. That is right there. You know how much species of fish we have right there? That not only the tarpon live right in there in the estuaries and so on. We have redfish, we have snapper, we have all kind of thing. Kingfishers come in, they carry, kawali, all kind of thing. That going when they cut it up and spin it up, going down. What about the fish that we're going to buy? Where the fish? If the fish eat that and swallow that, how much dead? They eat a pelican, they're covered with it. Could you imagine? Think about the whole world is environmentally conscious. And look at Trinidad and Tobago under Keith Rowley and this bag of clowns under Small Pin Young. That is a Small Pin Young, Stuart Small Pin Young, studying to go and do a Talbot business and meeting South Command General when a Talbot not there. And his brother Angus Young talking to people on a chat and telling them that Shamfa could be a great minister sport because she run a half marathon. Shamfa don't run no half marathon. She walk it. She finish it in about 5 hours. When you run a half marathon, it's finishing an hour and 2 minutes. Anytime you reach 4, 5, 6 hours, they not run, they walk. And then he bought about Stuart Small Pin Young was a national junior triathlon champion. Angus Young, you lie. Show me what national title junior triathlon Stuart Small Pin Young win. The man couldn't even, when we finished 400 meters, he only finished 200. The man was slow like molasses flowing out a Limacol bottle when he used to train down in Marlins. But he, and furthermore, you are trying to equate a junior triathlon competition with running elite sport and managing and getting resources for athletes to win Olympic medals. That qualifies you. So then why you don't give up your CEO work and let somebody who doing Form 2 business, Form 3, when you start doing principles of business, why don't let them go and run your company that now, since your brother swaying, you get 3.81 billion of public sector work. Since your brother swaying, you move from a little parlor on the avenue to a merchant bank, and you getting all kind of work from the government and telling people about go and pay their taxes and go and serve. Everybody want to serve like the Young family. Your father in charge of IFC. What IFC doing? Getting 15 million per year for the last 6 years. Where the money gone? What has he done? He in charge of all investments to come and report to his small pin son, Ann Rowley. How come he was on the board of Sagicor and Maritime bid 300 million more than Sagicor, but Coleman but and the PNM who sit next to your brother in the cabinet give it to Sagicor, and you talking so arrogantly to people about go and pay the taxes? And who the hell you feel you is Angus flipping Young when before 2015 what you was driving, now where you driving? Look, all you give me a chance, yes? And that is the PNM. Could you imagine if that video goes viral and people in the USA and so on see that? Trinidad and Tobago will be a pariah in the world. Right now the entire globe, also children in high school are environmentally conscious. They have they're doing recycling, renewable energy projects, and we have a bag of backward, ridiculous Neanderthals that when there's an oil spill, they send a boat to chop it up. I don't know what else to say now. But no mind, you could play lotto. Coleman them open lotto. They open no church. You can't go and play no sport really. Them open lotto because Coleman them need money to spend. And on top of that, if you hear the advertisement, play lotto. We're adding on $2 million to the prize. So normally lotto, the prizes go up as an equation of how many people play and so on. PNM so want all your poor people to go and waste a little bit of money all you have. Them jack up the price by a $2 million to entice all you. And here the lotto tagline, only winners play lotto. Really? In a week, it was only have one winner. The other 200,000 people has lost. So how only winners just play lotto? But I PNM for you, go on. Go on, River Beach closed. All kind of things still closed. Them open a lotto because them want cash. Slow sales at bookstores in South and Central Trinidad. People don't even have money to buy book for the children to go and study. Mixed views from business chambers on the reopening of the economy and so on. Mixed views, says the Express. Let's read some of these mixed views. 1. President of the Tobago Chamber of Commerce, Dan Haddad. Performance of Rowley and them, mediocre. Coordinator of the Confederation of Regional Business Chambers, Jai Jedar Singh, said, while the government has worked assiduously to obtain vaccines, well, you either living somewhere else or you clueless. Worked assiduously, 8.5 months, 15% of the population fully vaccinated. We now getting Pfizer. We had no Moderna. Johnson & Johnson was supposed to reach where? And we only have CL, and people don't even want the CL, and we can't get it into the arms. And when is it going to expire? But you find they worked assiduously. If somebody in your stockroom was working assiduously to fill your shelves with Kellogg's cornflakes, but they didn't do it for 8 months, you would keep them on staff and say, hey, you're trying good. You really tried to get at Kellogg's. I mean, I have none on the shelf, but you worked assiduously. Let me pay you a bonus. Is that what you would say? Mr. Klong, let me go ahead and read this man. What else he say? He said, the small and medium sizes enterprises, sector and business receive little help. So one say mediocre, one say little help. The much advertised government guaranteed SME loans leave much to be desired. So that is it leaves a severe undercapitalization. I'm looking for the mixed reviews the Express say about the Rowley's handling of pandemic and so on in the economy. You know, they say mixed. Mixed means, hey, somebody said great, somebody said not so good, somebody said terrible. That's mixed. Not so. douglAR, I mix. I African mix with Indian, so I mix. All right. Then we see where the mix come in. Most importantly, there seems to be a telling absence of any kind of economic recovery. So no economic recovery. So far, everything saying bad, bad, bad. Me and see no mix. Number 3, President of the Arima Business Association, Christian Rampasad, said, the government handled the pandemic to the best of their ability. Well, boy, that's excellent. The best. Okay, so I go in and run 100 meters with my big belly self. At 52 years old next 2 weeks, I go in and run it in 16 seconds. But Bolt and them running 9.5. Jacobs from Italy winning 9.7. Blake and them run 9.9. But I run it in 16 seconds, which is the best of my ability. Well, give me a gold medal then. Because I did the best of my ability. Yes, boy. I like you. You're real bright. But he continued. He said, but more needs to be done with respect to educating the public about the vaccination program. On the matter where goods are sitting on the port, are Spain port and taking almost a week to clear. So therefore, education program, vaccination, terrible. Goods on the port, staying long and deteriorating and perishing, terrible. I not seeing the mix, you know, but the Express say mixed views. I must find a mix, You understand? We must hear some chutney with some soca. We must hear some R&B with some, what you call that music that boy from Cuba that sing? What you call it? Not country and western from Cuba, boy, what do you? Cuba no country and western, never have caballero. Oh Lord, forget that, yes? Reggae and dancehall mixed with slows. Chaguanas Chamber of Commerce President Richie Sukai. Okay, this is the last person now. So everybody else say PNM doing rubbish, nonsense, and do nothing, no help, everything collapsing. So the mix must be this one. Let me hear Sukai, who was cautious with his words, said, it was too early to rate the government during this Sukai, so when you going to rate them? When all are we there? Manning, let me stop laughing, yes? Brian Manning, your father must be so ashamed. But I always wondered how you is Patrick Manning's son. Eh? To tell you the truth, I'm being serious. Patrick Manning is a good looking fella. When Patrick Manning stand up in his suit with the black tie and thing, them ladies will go, oh, Patrick. Yeah. Brian, I don't see the ladies doing that for you, brother. And Hazel Man is a good looking woman. I do a little biology and genealogy, and I don't understand that mix. If good looking and good looking mix, how you come out, Brian Manning? I don't understand it. But then on top of that now, your father was a man who liked people. I disagree with he and his policies in many ways, but you could never hear me saying two things. I would never say Patrick Manning thief a cent. Rowley, good evening, how you going? I would never say that Patrick Manning didn't go in the office to see constituents and he don't like people. Rowley, good evening, how you going? Yet Brian Manning, you not good looking, you don't look like Patrick Manning, you don't look like Hazel, and like you don't like people, you attack a woman, a homeless woman, a poor woman, a woman who lost her house, and nowhere to say, you attack she and say she acting and somebody staging to sleep on concrete. But it's a bacchanal in the PNM. Because the PNM lady who paid by the PNM but didn't tell me how she get the work by the PNM when they create a position for she at the PNM. When they create that position with she at the, look at that. Look how good looking Patrick Manning is. And then this thing. Not only, it don't even have the shape of the face. I don't understand. I want to question all my scientists, all my teachers who teach me science because something ain't right. And his is a good lady. No, man, no. No. But anyway, this is more important. This lady who get a work at NLCB, that they create a work, and I ask her, but where the cabinet know to create the work? Where was the work advertised? Because I would have liked to apply for a work of crisis manager, communication manager at NLCB. I would have liked to interview. Me and see no advertisement. I keep asking this lady to show us, since she likes to talk about corruption and so on with the UNC. Where was the position? Where's the cabinet note? Did it go to PMCD for the leveling of salaries and juxtaposition in the infrastructure of the HR development of the scheme of things? Where was the advertisement for the position? How many people applied? How many was selected? What was the short list? Who was the interviewing team? What were the scores? How you get this work, Miss Lady? I forget she name, whatever she name is, but she's a PNM. And Dr. Hines, who is independent, went on to talk to she, but Dr. Hines saying he is the doctor for all of us. But yeah, and she didn't ask him if he get a scholarship from Joe Newell, you know, back in the 2003, 2004, 2005 when he was doing his MPhil. But it's a bacchanal in the PNM. What going on in San Fernando? San Fernando, I feel sorry for all you know. All you have Junior Regrello, probably the biggest dance in the world. Then all you have Brian Manning, we don't know where he come from because he don't look like he related to Patrick. And then you have Faris Al-Rawi, a la Mascara, a la Tight Pants, a la lost every case. San Fernando PNM really don't like all you. But here this PNM lady, Lord, is backs after backs this Sunday. So here the back story talking bacchanal now. Constituents from Sando West leaving and going over by Sando East to get food hampers. All you know, the big food hampers from the Ministry of Food. Ministry of Food, yes. Big hampers. All you see the hamper from Barbados. Well, this is a PNM woman. So apparently in the San Fernando West constituency, they cutting the hampers in half and giving them. Faris, you're doing. Oh, that delayed. Oh, God. And I call me in charge of NLCB and call man, daddy lady. Oh, Lord, Colm. Yes, Colm, you look happy, boy. Colm, I never see you smile, so I know see what you like, Colm. I know see what Colm like. Colm, all the years, I know you never see you smile. Put back that, let me see Colm smile. Colm, I know see what is your taste, boy. Only put back Colm now, man. Only let me see. Look, Colm, I I thought I'm waiting to see you care about people, care about the economy, care about Trinidad and Tobago, care about, performing works on transport, try and get a good vessel, not the Swan thing, not the Galleon's passage, and I never understand, but calm. You look happy there, boy. Oh, Lord. Yes, calm. Your boy now figure it out. Anyway, this lady says that apparently San Fernando West constituency, which is Al Rawi, they're cutting up the hampers in half and giving them out. While in Sando East, Brian Manning handed out full hampers to the people. So Sando East make a query about why is only half hampers in Sando West given out. But, and then Al Rawi come and defend the PNM attacking PNM, but hey, this is bacchanal, boy. But Al Rawi, a la mascara, a la tight pants, a la dribble, a la bray like a donkey, a la put on tight clothes to go in a room with 13 man says. He defends the constituency against untrue accusations. MP for San Fernando West, AG Faris Al Rawi, right? He said, as MP of the constituency, he is fully in control of all activities at his office, and that any malfeasance with government hampers for distribution to the public is entirely unlikely. Okay, let's read. Why would this be entirely unlikely? It's entirely unlikely to happen because Faris Al Rawi, a recusal, a rental, a rent out your own building, a outfit your own building, a lost 34K straight, that he oversee the distribution. Faris Al Rawi, who was saying that it wasn't he on the night of the election by the EBC with thing in the hand with the special branch and the special branch vehicle that belonged to the government with the Attorney General. Faris Al Rawi, who sit in a cabinet, recused himself 37 times because of conflict of interest. Faris Al Rawi, who rent out his own building as the Attorney General and take 38 million to outfit it, say, once he in charge, it have no malfeasance. Oh Lord. Donna Cox say, landlords, please show mercy, show mercy, show mercy. Yeah, move all of them PNM. PNM could have their own bacchanal and PNM. What happen? All you going and get rid of Rowley, all you lining up to see who go be leader. Donna Cox balling. Landlords, please, please have mercy on single mothers. Donna Cox, why your government didn't go in parliament to protect people from the banks, to put a moratorium and make it illegal to accrue interest or to call or to foreclose or to call on landlords to pay or mortgages and so on? Why you didn't go that and make the law? All you went and make a law to gut procurement, but all you did not go to protect citizens. Now you feel somebody care about you and your bundles, asking them nicely to ease up people. People that care about you, Donna Cox, they don't even tell you good morning in the cabinet. What are you talking about? Anyway, we're moving on to a little sport as we wrap up here now. I see that some of the world-class athletes are heading on to make money as the Diamond League continues. So some of the champions of the Olympics are going to Lausanne and to Paris and so on for Diamond League to make big money, appearance fees. Sometimes when you're Olympic gold medalist and thing, you make all kind of 80,000 US before you run or throw or something. But one thing I could tell you, my boy, my Olympic gold medalist and Olympic bronze medalist, Keshawn Walcott, I could tell you that he not going to Lausanne, he not going to any Diamond League meets, because the incompetence of Shamfa Kujo, PNM, Brian Lewis, PNM, and the government, Douglas Camacho, PNM, has ensured that he had to quarantine down here and cannot get out of quarantine to train, to go in the weight room, to do his fitness, to do his throws, to get his throwing get, to do his practice, to go in a stadium. He cannot train. He incapable because the government has no ability to differentiate between an elite level Olympic athlete who has to ply his trade. He has had to cancel going to 3 competitions, and he's an Olympic gold and bronze medalist, and he cannot go to make money. But them going, Elaine Thompson going and make money. She'd have 3 gold medals. Well, God bless her. But in Trinidad and Tobago, our athletes, the next cycle has begun for 2024, and the same nonsense is going on. The Express says, review TNT Olympic at Tokyo 2020. Right? Review it now. Now you want to review it? You encouraged and assisted a government who had a grabby-wabby, a man who couldn't get pom-pom and tried to grab it and pay $150,000 to keep it quiet with a non-disclosure, and was replaced by a woman who does say she does jog. And y'all are now saying, after 6 years of incompetence of the PNM, that they must discuss and do a post-mortem on what happened. Let me tell you something, and leave this lady up, because she had a press conference today, side by side with Douglas Camacho, one of the biggest dunces in the history of sport. A man, because of his color, his shade, and his ability to play politics with Larry Romani, Brian Lewis, and the likes like that in the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee. They keep it like an all-boys club, and they play sack in, sack out, and take turns. And they have done nothing to assist or improve the state of affairs in Trinidad and Tobago sport. And they have said, even when they play such PNM politics, that when I was Minister of Sport and Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, and we increased funding and increased education and increased all aspects of elite level sport from grassroots come up, they never had one good word to say, because they don't care about sport. What them care about first and foremost is PNM must be in charge. So they in charge. Them call a press conference today to talk one bag of nonsense about what them do. Well, let me tell you something, Shamfach Kucho, Madam, I don't know which one are you to talk. Are the same person, eh? Let me tell you something. While you come here and telling people, don't attack the athletes, and Douglas Camacho dealing with some people are only focusing on medals and so on. Douglas Camacho, first and foremost, you don't have to deal with asinine comments like TV6 talking about Big Fat Zero. You are the chairman of the sport company. How come there's no hockey? How come the hockey turf have finished? How come nobody has dived on the platform in the aquatic center? Why did the aquatic center go green? Why was the cycling velodrome shut down for 14 months with no air condition? Where's the funding? Where's the elite development? Where's the high performance level of the sport company? How many people have been fired? Where are the salaries? What is the program? How many conferences? How much coach education? How much sport tourism packages, products have you all done? What have you done, Douglas Camacho? You come there to talk and attacking people because we feel only medals count. But the only reason we feel medals count is that they had a fella called Brian Lewis. So let's pull up that video there, Vishnu. Brian Lewis went years ago without any knowledge or understanding of what it takes to get a gold medal in the Olympics and what is necessary and all the aspects that have to come together in order to produce an Olympic gold medal. This dunce called Brian Lewis, who screened for the PNM and was rejected in Port of Spain South and could not criticize Shamfa Kujo as she cut funding from 140 million down to 10 million. Brian Lewis went around telling the country, we will win 10 gold medals by 2024. He said that in 2016 or 17. We now in 2021, heading to 2024, and we have not won gold medal. But this fool who knows nothing about gold medals, does not understand what it takes, has done nothing, did not even know how to select a team for a 4x400 relay, which allows for substitutions, was telling the country 10 gold medals. I didn't make up that. And Brian Lewis is in your clique, your PNM clique, Douglas Dunce Camacho. Let me hear Brian Lewis.
It wasn't that we set this goal, 10 or more Olympic gold medal by the year 2024, and sat down and twiddled our thumbs. What we would have done is spoken to and interacted with people who live and breathe excellence every day as a habit.
8 years on, only one gold medal has since come. And that was for the Beijing 2008 4x1 relay team. Jamaica was disqualified in 2017. But Lewis feels people often misunderstood what setting that goal was meant to do.
I've had no regrets about that because, you know, it's always important to give young people an aspiration.
In the end, this is what this was all about, challenging young people to see themselves at the top of the Olympic podium.
Well, that alone shows how stupid Brian Lewis is. Because one thing they teach you in setting goals, you do not set unrealistic, impossible goals which would lead to negative effects because you never get close. You must set a dream goal and put that aside. Then you set short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals which can be touched, which can be achieved. You don't take an 8-year-old tennis player and say, in 2 years we're going to win Wimbledon. Stupid, it's illogical, nonsensical, and that equates to 10 goals in 2016 to 2024. And even that reporter there tried to give him a blind. He tried to say we get 1 goal because in 2008 we got silver, but the test came out for the Nesta Carter who was on the relay, and that was changed from a silver to a gold. But that was 2008. That reporter tried to say that come between 2016 and 2024 because the decision on the doping case came out in 2017. He said we get 1. That is as asinine as the ridiculous thing. Talking about giving children a chance to dream about 10 gold medals. It was stupid, and what it does is creates in the minds and perceptions of the population that is possible. So if the men in charge, Brian Lewis, Douglas Camacho, the ministers, PNM ministers, grabby wabby while grabbing pum pum, and the next one while changing she appearance, them believe in all of that, and you get a few talk show hosts to talk that stupidness, and the Olympic Committee says 10 goals in 2024, people will believe that is possible, that is reality, not like that. They don't understand that is like taking your diesel truck and saying you're driving to the moon. They didn't understand how stupid that was. But now, when the people expect medals from what you put into their expectation and into their mind share, you are now attacking the very people who do not have all the knowledge. They're listening to you as the experts, but they didn't realize the experts are idiots. Shamfa Kujo, you talking and bullying athletes and saying about who apply for funding. First of all, there is no funding because under Kamala Prasad-Bissessar and Anil Roberts, funding for athletes, elite athletes, the NPI vote was up at $140 million annually. Your budget is $10 million. So that alone, and you can't go and argue with no one. Nobody cares about you. You're irrelevant, Shamfa Kujo. So what do you want them to come and apply? Everybody come to apply. All sporting organizations, NGBs, all of them have to come and fight up for that 10 million and elite athletes and all of that. So first and foremost, go and get some more funding for them. Late funding. As you know, Colmember don't care about you, and your tranches and your releases are late. When athletes get late funding, it puts them behind the 8 ball, and they cannot get their training and their competitions on time. And they have to also cancel competitions, and leads to doubt in their mind on their preparation. Once you have doubt in preparation for an elite athlete, fail. You cut elite funding. We had 83 athletes receiving elite funding on various levels, some full, some half, some junior, all of that. You all cut that. You have no medical help. You're always asking Richard Thompson if he is an elite athlete, a man with a gold medal and a silver medal, a man who run his hard string out for Trinidad and Tobago. You, the PNM, asking him if he's elite. Under Kamala and Anil, we paying and taking care of medical for all the elite athletes. There was no training. You didn't allow them to make, just like Keshawn cannot go and earn his living before the Olympics. You did not allow, even during the pandemic, special circumstances. You talking about 2 hours. What elite athlete, get ready to that video from Breaking Dawn Day. What elite athlete could train for 2 hours? When Leah Martindale, George Bovell, Kerry Ann Gibbs, Chantel McLean, all athletes that I took from right here in Trinidad to qualify for the Olympics, they would train 7 hours per day. You, Shamfa, got what? 2 hours, and they had to ask you for permission to go and get 2 hours of training per day. That cannot work. Furthermore, they needed vaccination to get out and get to their competitions and to train outside and to compete outside. You said no priority vaccination for elite level athletes. The facilities were closed down. The cycling velodrome closed down for Nicholas Paul to go outside in Switzerland. And if he home here, he couldn't do his training on the velodrome that was built by Kamla for him. You couldn't even get that open. You and Douglas Camacho had the air conditioner not working. You did not even maintain. The pool turned green. Are you all ready with the video over there? Run it, man.
Right. We're talking about the athletes didn't do well. But we have to remember, and there is a clip to support this, where the athletes were given 2 hours via a letter from the Minister of Sports to practice. I don't know where in the world Olympians get 2 hours to practice. That is warm-up time you're talking about. Yeah. You get 2 hours to warm up before you start, right? And there is a letter that they have to get from the Minister of Sports, who knows absolutely nothing about sports. She don't know about roaming charges. She knows nothing. But she has to give a letter for our athletes to get 2 hours. 1 or 2 hours. I don't know if you can remember that. And that is why we have no medal. The other thing is, when these...
On top of that, these athletes need to get analysis and training and measurements. You have no sports science system. There was a cabinet note there that I left since 2013, 2014 to create a sports medicine, sports science lab with VO2 max testing, computers, analysis, cameras with vision to help with those technical events that require analysis of motion and so on. All of that was there. You have done nothing. But you come in to talk and both people about apply for funding that you cannot even get. Then there were no training camps before, and even the TTOC, Brian Lewis had to cancel training camp in Tokyo, and then you expect athletes to perform, and all you come in to say, don't blame the athletes. We don't blame the athletes. We blame you. You don't know what you're doing. You're incompetent. Why you don't resign? You didn't want the job. You know nothing about the job, but you're talking arrogantly. Cyclists could have used Taruba, Cuba before. Now you cannot even use it. Cyclists could have done their aerobic work where they need to go lots of kilometers down by Taruba. Your government, the PNM Ministry of Works, cancel it and turn it into a one-way where car could lick them down. All down Shagaramas. Cyclists frightened to ride. Even Nicholas Paul needs to do road work at the beginning to create his base. They didn't do that. Gyms, track, stadia in disrepair, no maintenance by the idiot, what his name, who can't even build AstroTurf for hockey, and he's the president of the hockey board. Douglas Duns Camacho, Aquatic Center turned green. Pro League collapsing because of no funding from you. Super League collapsed. The secondary schools football, nobody getting support. Clubs not getting support. Communities not getting support. You talking about they did not apply? And imagine we make a football exit to Bahamas because of you and Nigel Romano and all your PNM normalization committee. The next one, Brian Lewis put up the Afro head one day who telling people about 10 gold medal in 8 years. The clown who could not even make the national team in rugby, who knows nothing about sport. In 2004, this clown here, I arrived in the Olympic Village on the 3rd of August. The opening ceremony was August 11, 2004. He was the chef de mission because a little boys club, all of them is friend, and then sack in, sack out. I come out, you go in, right? And I went to this clown here, and I told him as I walked in with George Bovell, I said, listen, George Bovell has now arrived in the village. He's going to take a nap. We're then going to wake up, have a little snack, eat. He'll do some stretching, get an ultrasound, and I'm going to take him down to the pool to see the facility, to take a loosen up swim just to get acclimatized and so on at 6 p.m. I said, sir, I don't want to take him in last year's jersey from the 2003 Barcelona World Championship. I would like his Olympic Trinidad and Tobago red, white, and black uniform to walk down there, to go and look good, feel good about himself. Because them Yankee had outfit, about 25 different outfits. Them have bikini, warm-up suit, track suit, parka, red suit, rain suit, lineman. They have Levi jeans, Levi furting. They have 6 different shoes, track shoes, slippers. I say, listen, It's me and he alone, let the boy look good. You know what this man tell me? This clown here? He said, well, Anil, the athletes are arriving on about the 10th. So he will get his uniform then. Well, needless to say, I looked at George. I said, George, go upstairs and put on your laptop and thing. And I pulled this clown aside. I ain't gonna lie to all you. And I bust some French on him. Some serious French. To explain to him that me ain't come here for no joke. And an athlete has arrived. And I want his uniform. His Trinidad and Tobago topper. Nice thing to go. Suffice it to say that the French worked on this one. And 34 minutes later, 3 cars came with Olympic symbols and rings and so on and took us for a 25-minute drive in Athens up to a country club full of Adidas gear. All of the doctors and the ultrasound and so on, they rushed to go and pack the bag with shoe and tracksuit and thing, red, white, and back to that. I said, George, wait, George. When all of them finished, I said, George, go and see what you want there. That's what we had to deal with. And this clown talking about he know about sport. He was a dunce then and he's more of a dunce now. So seeing our athletes going out without any armor, without any protection, without any support is because they have dunces like this in charge. No, pull back that dunce. This dunce, and I told him when I was minister, and I increased funding across the board. He was also involved in the TT Pro League. And I increased funding from 4 million up to 11.67 million, not only for the executive and the management of the Pro League, but for each club and helping pay salaries, because that's a great industry, creating opportunities for young black boys to work and move and buy house and put savings and so on. So the government under Kamala fund that. He never once. We increased funding for the Olympic Committee, for conferences, for coach education, for all the NGBs underneath. Everybody got more funding under Kamala Prasad Bisesa. This clown was the president. Not once did he say, well, that's a good initiative. That's well done. When Aquatic Center building, cycling, velodrome, tennis center, not one day. He used to write in the Guardian and think he might still write. He never did. When I point out that to him about a year ago, because he went and screened for PNM, and I was always telling him, but like you're a politician, you're not independent. But he would always pretend, no, he's not. But he went and screened for PNM last year. I call him, I say, I knew it all the time. You're a total clown, and that's why sport will go nowhere, because you was a PNM. And you can't talk the truth. So if sport getting 140 million, right? And under PNM they get 10. He stays quiet because the 10 had to be good. He can't say Kamala good. And that's why sport in a mess. And these clowns talking about 2024. Where we going with 2024? No training camps. I'm asking you, why did the TTOC only pick a bare 4 for the 4x400 relay? Poor Saint-Hilaire. Run his heart out in the semi-finals, had soreness, delay onset muscle soreness. You could see it in his style of running. He couldn't take off. He ran 140 meters and could not go no more. All you ball him, but he pulled an injury there. He was sore and injured before. It didn't pop. It wasn't a full-blown injury, but it was sufficient to not be in a final. Who was his substitute? Kyle Groh, a pure 100 and 200 man? You did not even select because all you wanted to take officials. When he was chef de mission, there was a 4x100 women's relay team going to the semi-finals. Swimming does happen before. So George Bovell win the bronze medal. So me and George, we happy, we linemen and things, but we supporting the other athletes. And the 4x100 women's first time they was in a semi-final in 2004. And we upstairs, we on the second floor and the girls going out. 6 of them looking good in the tracksuit and thing, and we going, all right, girls, we coming down in the stadium, let we go, because they going early to warm up and so on. We going to watch, so we go down there early. A little later, from above I hear a female voice saying, all right, ladies, let's go. I look at George, I said, George, that is not the track and field women's coach up there telling them girls, let's go. George, watch me. He said, Anil, why are you so stupid? How would I go be the coach and them going to run a semi-final? The coach had to go with them. What happened to you? I said, all right, boss, all right, George, both me. We linemen there waiting, relaxing. About 18 minutes later, the female track and field coach walks down. He was the chef de mission, in a short pants and a slippers, with two of the other swimmers who wasn't really right, they just went there to swim, right? And them going to get ice cream in the village, 4x100 relay going in the stadium in the semi-final. The girls dropped the baton and didn't make it. But the coach, under his management, the coach in the village while race running in the stadium, all you feel I had time for this bag of stupid people? And now they're discussing, well, 2024, we will be ready. Be ready for what? Y'all are leaving our athletes naked and alone in a world of brilliance and amazing talent, amazing coaches, amazing management. And he will tell me about 10 gold medals in 8 years? The only thing grow 10 inches is he flipping afro. Anyway, on that note, I would just like to finish off by showing y'all. I saw a video, and it's well done, nice, high quality. It's a Visit Trinidad and I guess Tobago. I don't know. I think it was Visit Trinidad, but it should always be. There is no Trinidad. It's Visit Trinidad and Tobago, and I just love this video. I want you all to look at this beautiful video done by the People's National Movement, the PNM government. Watch this video all here. Watch it, Run it.
Where can you find the ideal location for world-class sports facilities that inspire the best from your athletes? Trinidad is the place to go. Trinidad is an exceptional destination for training and competition year-round. Our National Aquatic Center is host to some of the most prestigious collegiate and national teams from the USA and Canada, providing perfect conditions for training at any time of the year. The National Cycling Velodrome is an advanced training and competitive center for cycling's elite. The National Racquet Center is a cutting-edge space designed to international standards. The Trinidad and Tobago Football Federation grounds are the site of various world sporting events. Trinidad's contemporary facilities across the island are second to none in the region. Trinidad, welcome to the best place for you to aspire and achieve.
Well, of course, the douglAR had to correct the ad, right? The ad did not have no writing on it, all right? But the douglAR just had to correct it. You would not give me wrong for correcting it. So thank you, Kamala. Thank you, Anil. Thank you, Jack Warner, Pandey, Manohar Ramsaran for the football stadium, the 5 of them. Thank you. PNM, Oleano Shea, and them in charge of sport, Olympic preparation, grassroots, education, culture, arts, health, pandemic, economy, gas, fishery, agriculture. That bag of PNM duns in charge. Elections have consequences. I go on,
Where can you find the ideal location for world-class sports facilities that inspire the best from your athletes? Trinidad is the place to go. Trinidad is an exceptional destination for training and competition year-round. Our National Aquatic Center is host to some of the most prestigious collegiate and national teams from the USA and Canada, providing perfect conditions for training at any time of the year. The National Cycling Velodrome is an advanced training and competitive center for cycling's elite. The National Racquet Center is a cutting-edge space designed to international standards. The Trinidad and Tobago Football Federation grounds are the site of various world sporting events. Trinidad's contemporary facilities across the island are second to none in the region. Trinidad, welcome to the best place for you to aspire and achieve.